I'm back. Rodrans for the Matrix and Road Show, and I find this utterly hilarious. Now, we know last year, all kinds of woke mob backlash against the legendary, the GOAT, Dave Chappelle, over his Netflix special, The Closer. Now, I liked The Closer. I did. But I thought Sticks and Stones was epic. I mean, Sticks and Stones was one of the best stand-ups I have ever seen. And the one thing we know about Dave Chappelle is he shows no mercy against anybody or any groups. He just simply does not care. And he's unafraid of cancellation. It's a beautiful thing. And I always know that a lot of these people either don't know how to interpret the media they're consuming, or they just flat don't watch it, or they get a certain way through it, and then they get outraged and they turn it off. They get triggered. Because in The Closer, of course, Dave Chappelle told that great story involving his transgender friend, Daphne, who did commit suicide. Well, the LGBT LMNOP community got outraged, and they tried to cancel Dave Chappelle. Now, Dave Chappelle's unafraid of cancellation. He really just doesn't give a rat's F, okay? And it's amazing. He's one of these guys that transcends all political lines, it seems. For the most part, he's unafraid. And look, it's eventually going to be comedians that destroy this cancel culture, I believe. I felt that for a while. Whether it's Chappelle, whether it's Bill Maher, whoever, it's going to be comedians that break through that wall. Adam Carolla, they're supposed to be the ones that have the license to make fun. Always has, right? Well, of course, these transgenders, the ones working for Netflix, actually got outraged, tried to get him canceled, tried to get him pulled off Netflix, and then guess what? Netflix backed him and said no. Kind of like with Joe Rogan and Spotify. No, we're not canceling Dave Chappelle. You want to know why? He makes us an F ton of money. A effing massive ton of money. A shit ton of money. And they're not canceling that cash cow. And it gets even funnier. It gets even funnier with this news. Netflix announces 4 new Dave Chappelle comedy specials. Oh, take it in your eye. Woke mob on Twitter. I find this hilarious. Hollywood Reporter. Dave Chappelle is still very much on Netflix home team. The streamer announced Friday the release of 4 upcoming comedy specials, executive produced and hosted by the controversial comic. The series of specials is dubbed Chappelle's Home Team, and each will feature a different comic introduced by Chappelle. First to be featured is Earthquake, and his special called Earthquake Legendary premieres February 28th. Another will spotlight Donnell Rawlins. Oh, we know him from the Chappelle Show. Ashy Larry, I believe, was one of the characters he played. One similarly shared by all featured comics is they've been in the stand-up game for at least 30 years. Good, old school comics. Quote, I've been doing this a long time, and comedians like Quake and Donnell are not only friends, but have inspired my own career, Chappelle said. Anyone in the comedy community knows these names, knows their time to shine is long overdue. I'm proud to be a part of it. So he's giving back to actual comedians, okay? Yeah, Donnell Rawlins has been around a long time, 20 years, I know for sure, that I have seen him on TV. The specials are directed by Chappelle's go-to helmer, Stan Lathan, and executive produced by Chappelle, Lathan, Earthquake, Ricky Hughes, and Jermaine Smith. Chappelle is hugely popular draw for the streamer, but his last Netflix special, October's The Closer, drew considerable criticism from the media as well as from many of his fans for the comic's lengthy discussion of the transgender movement, segments that were blasted as transphobic. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos defended the special amid uproar from some in the streamer's own employee ranks and later admitted, quote, "I screwed up by not being more sensitive to Netflix staffers." Still, Sarandos backed the program as, quote, "consistent with our comedy offering. It's consistent with Dave Chappelle's comedy brand, and this is one of those times when there's something on Netflix that you're not going to like." That's a good answer. That is a good answer. At the time, the closer was billed as the last of 6 special package of content for the streamer from Chappelle. Chappelle will also headline a performance at Hollywood's Bowl for Netflix Los Angeles-based comedy special or festival, Netflix is a Joke, which it gets underway April 28th. So, I think this is hilarious. After everything, and I mean they were outraged, Chappelle's name trended on Twitter for, I swear, 6 days in a row. Continuously, Chappelle, and people on Twitter were losing their minds with all their little colored flags and everything they had on their little profile names and their actual pronouns listed. Outraged. And I like the fact that Netflix doubled down, backed Dave Chappelle, and they did it for money, and this is capitalism, and that's good. That's good. I have no issues with that. I'm glad they didn't pull his content. A lot of providers would have gotten scared, and they would have pulled his content off. Something like Disney or, HBO putting their cringy warnings and or pulling content off. We're sick of seeing that. Stop it. History is just that. It's history. You can't change it because it's already happened. And so I find this hilarious that they said, no, Dave Chappelle makes us plenty of money. He's staying here. He's staying on. Tell me what you think, Matrix and Roadshow fans. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.